The following is a presentation of the Dat Thielen Podcast Network, reminding you to always question the answers.
Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Eat it. Eat the cake. Yeah. Eat the cake. Eat the cake. And the man. Well, all right. I bet you thought you stumbled on another podcast. Of course you're right, but let me tell you about the contrast. It's really different, not an exit from the Comcast. We cover anime today and other times past. Listen and learn in that order, then replay. Be entertained by Mac, Jackie, and EJ. 3 hoes doing way more than the most, proving you can pay the lion, but it's all in the approach. Originals and sequels, the newbies and the Ichigos. The world's up in flames to the ones more peaceful. The weapons or the Shuto, manga, Naruto, Monkey D. Luffy, and a lot more that you know. Subscribe, hit the like, give the algorithm life once. We trying to get the same pie that Apple took a bite from. Join the conversation, let us know if you can relate. If not, you still might be forced to eat the cake. Anime, hey, eat the cake. Hey, anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime, hey, eat the cake. Hey, anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime.
So that's our non-spoiler take. If you haven't seen it, you can end watching now or continue to watch and get a little bit of spoiler action in your life to know what to expect walking in there. Are you guys ready to get into our deep dive review?
Absolutely.
Super ready.
All right, let's do it.
I like that.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I guess we'll start with Jackie. I know she has a lot to talk to this one. What you got for us, Jackie?
I have so many, but I'm gonna try to go in order of like what I did, but also I had spoiler questions to ask you guys.
Oh yeah,
as
go ahead.
Well. So the first thing I'll just go into like for what we talked about for what we were gonna do in the deep dive, and it's like talking about our thoughts on some of the fights. So Shinobu's fight, Zenitsu's fight, Giyu Tanjiro with Akaza, and then the whole backstory, and then his like, I'm gonna die, but I don't want to die, but I'm gonna die, but I'm not gonna die, and all of that, and then just how it ended. So I guess we can probably start with like Shinobu's fight.
Or
And
how about we just start with this one? Because this is the only complaint that I've really seen from people who have watched it. I
okay,
don't know if they read the manga or they've been following it, but they say that the backstory segment for Akaza drug for way too long. They said that threw me off the pace and was all off. I could not disagree more with that. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on
So I heard that too. When I went to work, I talked with a couple of my one coworker, and she was like, same as me, loved it. But her husband said that he thought that took like the fight that was happening when it moved to that, he was confused and it ruined the moment for that fight. When it kept going back and forth, it was confusing. I didn't feel that at all. Like the whole time that scene was playing, and even if it did go back to like Giyu and Tanjiro at all, like I was so fully engaged in everything that was happening, learning about his backstory and why I knew he was going to be important. I knew there was something about him that was going to be like kind of gut wrenching and a tearjerker for like how he became a demon. And I was so
most
yeah,
moons do have those stories like that, you know?
yeah. Well, the
Like
only one that didn't.
out of desperation, they're just like, the world is against me, give me this power so I can fight against the world, you know?
Yeah. The only one that wasn't like that was Zenitsu's brother, freaking what's his name? Starts with a K. I wrote it
Oh,
down.
his superior.
Yeah, his
partner?
Kaigaku, yeah.
yeah, his was
That guy was just an asshole always. So
he's just
screw
driven
him.
by jealousy and the want of power, which
Yeah. He's the
once
only
again, I
one
mean,
so far that
just
I've
a
seen.
different angle, but
Yeah, he's the only one that I've seen that I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, his backstory I just thought was like so like he still wasn't a good person because he was hurting people and stealing for his father, but his reasoning was like good out of goodness, and then kind of the path that he went down after that still, because he was still considered like a thief and a murderer and all this stuff, because he was doing that stuff when he was trying to make money and get medicine for his dad. And then dude, then his dad like freaking kills himself, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, here we go." And then when they introduced that martial artist to like bring him in, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is going to be great. I love this." And then like with the girl and him falling in love, and just like his whole backstory and that pacing with it, I did not think at all detracted from the story. I thought it added so much into just how evil of a person Muzan is, and all these other demons that he has in the upper moon, and just like how many people are being affected, because this guy finds people at their most vulnerable moments and says, "Let me give you what you don't have," and then they're suffering pretty much the entire time there's demons, and they don't even know because they don't always have their memories, but
They
they're like
forgot. Yeah.
they're literally suffering the whole time, living through the grief of whatever it is that they went through and lost. And I have like Easter eggs and stuff, but I'll let EJ, you go, and your thoughts on the fact that it kind of went like that.
Um, I thought that the backstory was so important at that moment. I know I've heard the same issues that Willie that you've mentioned. People saying how it detracted from the combat, but I look at it like this, and I look at it from the aspect of in every movie that, you know, especially superhero movies, anime, you know, any kind of huge, you're gonna have this big battle between two very powerful individuals. Them slugging it out back and forth for nonstop forever is going to lessen the impact of it, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Like watching things like watching something like okay, Man of Steel fight in the movie. I know it's not anime. Man of Steel, his fight goes on and on and on and on and on with Zod, and you see parts where they just hit each other and they just show the person flying through the air, and then he flies up and hits him again, and it goes on, and that to me more drags on, where it's like, I understand they're super strong, I understand they're punching each other through buildings, I can't even tell who's punching who through what building anymore. It's become beat the horse to death moment. Okay, I feel like the backstory provided a much necessary explanation as to how this guy keeps freaking getting up. I mean, this is the one demon who you watched during the train. He would take punishment that you were like, oh, he's for sure done, dude. And then he gets up and you're like, what the? And then this one too, you're just like, holy crap, he keeps getting back up. These wounds, how does he keep surviving this? And you hear Tanjiro and Gyu both saying the same thing, like, that wound, you know, how's he survived that? They explained it with the backstory. They explained why he fights so hard, why he would not die, why he kept getting up, even where other demons have died from their attacks. He would keep coming back, and they're like, how? That's why it's important to have that backstory moment rolling. And it puts a break to the constant sword clash, punch slash sword. It gets old. Okay. I don't want to see 10, 15 minutes of action that has no explanation, because you're going to get bored of it. You're going to get bored of even the greatest special effects. You're going to see, like, after a point, be like, okay, we get it. He's chopped him so many times. He's punched him. He's kicked him. He's punched him. He's chopped him. You need to break it up. And I understand the want of the action, and especially people wanted revenge. They wanted to see this dude get this. A lot of people have been waiting for this battle. Okay. But to make the battle more poignant, in my opinion, bad guys who are just black and white bad guys are boring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here you see so many facets to what made him what he is. And it also explains why he keeps fighting. Okay. Earlier on, as you're watching the series and stuff, you see the disconnect between some of the demons that, you know, serve Muzan. Okay. They don't all get along with each other. And that's because they, you know, each of them, like you mentioned, Jackie, have struggled through other things. Muzan came and preyed upon them in weak moments, gave them gifts, yes, but to serve his own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So each of them over the years have forgotten or proceeded beyond what they probably initially decided this was what they were going to do for. Like now it took him this moment for him to remember why he kept fighting in the first place, why he wouldn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he remembered, and then it made a big difference in the character. And no matter whether you hate the character or not, you understood more at the end of this fight. You understood more, and he wasn't defeated by the power of friendship, like Will likes to say, and he wasn't defeated by Tanjiro or Gyu just saying, "And I'm gonna level up." No, he was defeated by all the aspects coming together at once, and you had to see that backstory happen to understand it. He was defeated within himself, and he was defeated outside by Tanjiro and Gyu. So it was a full circle thing. It wasn't just I was just a better fighter than he was. No, that's not the case, because he was able to beat both of them one-on-one. He was almost able to beat both of them by himself.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because he kept fighting, even when they were exhausted and they were like, how is he still fighting? And you learn why. So I think that's very important. I think it added to the movie, not detracted from the movie, because to understand the bad guy makes the bad guy have more depth. And in the end, who cares if you kill 100 Vegetas or 100 Cells or 100 Friezas if they had no story to begin with? Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? So you know how I feel about action without purpose, and I've discussed with other animes we've talked about. If you can't name any of the reasons why this character is important, then he's a fluff character. If he's just a filler character, you know what I mean? No matter how badass, what was it? In Solo Leveling, what's the name of that dude? He's like the baddest spirit that he's captured so far, in my opinion. The Knight, Egris. He's bad as hell, but we don't get anything really to explain why. You know what I mean? He'd be even more awesome if we had a backstory on him. You know what I mean? Because everybody already likes that he's a badass. Everyone's like, oh shit, he is badass. But when there's more to a character, you feel things on a different level with them. So I don't think that this was a waste of time. I think that the backstory was important. I think it built on this character, and I think it made it to where this is one of my favorite individuals out of the whole thing, and he's a bad guy. Mm-hmm. How's that? You know what I mean? So I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was good, and I think the longer we go forward with this, and they'll see in the next movie, without those moments that they feel like they drag on, where they explain the backgrounds of the Hashira, the different Hashira, they explain the backgrounds of the different demons. It makes it more impactful for the end of a story when the characters have been completely fleshed out. Unlike, like I mentioned with Attack on Titan, when, Jujubee dies and he gets eaten by someone, you're like, Jujubee was only on for 3 episodes. I don't know who Jujubee was, The impact is lost. Yes. Oh, it's terrible. He got eaten by one of the Titans. That's terrible. What did he do again? Where did he come from? I just remember he showed up one day when they were all at that compound. That's it. That's the kind of stuff. But I mean, when you got to understand, in my opinion, a lot of these people are used to the fast food standard. Here's the action. Let's kill. Let's move forward. Okay, that's it. This took a little bit more. If you pay attention, it makes the action mean so much more. Because that moment gets up without a head. You're just like, what the?
Would you say that you think that character got the best spotlight in the film then?
I think he got the time he deserved. I really do, because he was the prime antagonist from the train arc, and in the very end, you felt that all of Tanjiro wanted a chance to get vengeance upon this guy, but in the very end of this fight, I think Tanjiro had come to he respected it. He wanted to defeat him, but at the same time, he respected him as an enemy instead of just like, okay, I kicked his ass. Do you know what I mean? It had more meaning because he was such an integral player. And in this movie, in the Infinity Castle, this first part, they did put a lot of emphasis on him. But it's important because when you go back and you watch, when Muzan calls his best demons, right, his top, like, I guess 3 or 4, and you're introduced, and when he comes up and he's talking with the others, you're kind of getting this basis of how important each one is and how their interaction is with Musan. He was a lot more independent than the others. Like, I don't know if it's like the best way to say is like when they're all meeting in the Infinity Castle when Musan summons them. Okay. The other two, I think they show up before him, if I remember correctly. They do a lot of ass kissing in a way with Musan, and they're kind of more timid. Where he's a lot more his own person, I guess, is the way to look at it. Not like he's going to challenge Musan, but he seemed more sure of himself, or like he was. I don't know how to put it. Anyway, I just feel like he stood out as a character, not just a background character.
Yeah.
And I feel like he deserved this amount of time. I really do. Willie,
Really?
what do you think?
Yeah. And then do you think that he got the best spotlight, or do you think it was someone else?
When it comes to antagonists, he was the main one of the movie, I felt. And I think he needed to be, because how Mugen Train ended.
Yeah.
When Rengoku running off, I think it just shows the growth in Tanjiro, because Tanjiro was acting very emotional at that time, throwing the sword. Albeit, like, when I first saw Mugen Train, I was just like, what a fucking pussy. Why is he running? Like, if you were that dude, stay there and duke it out. But it's just like, why would I stay there? The sun is coming up. He even said it in the movie, like, what a stupid kid. Like, why would I stand there and burn up in the sun? Like, I'm running away. We'll meet again, you know?
Yeah.
But you can tell, like, when Tanjiro sees him, the anger is there. And when the fight initially starts. And
the music comes in, it's like,
and that's the thing, because Akaza, he feeds off of that anger, that fighting energy. He can detect it. That's why you can't fuck with him. And that's why all through that fight, he does the fucking I forget what it's called, battle compass or whatever it is. His blood.
Sorry, I wrote it down.
But it's like that compass that shows up. So when somebody, like, you can't sneak up on them if you have that anger, that fighting, that emotion, because he'll see it and move. And
a compass needle.
Needle.
And that was important.
Tanjiro figured that out, because shout out to Tanjiro's dad too, who just fucked that bear up in that fucking backstory.
Yeah, that was sick. That was insane.
He was just like, hey, you might not want to come, and just goes on about his. I'm like, Jesus. So he was just like, what if I just approach it like that? Like, not with the intent to do anything, just walk up with no malice, knowing that I have to kill this guy, which is wild to me that you can hide that emotion of, you killed Rengoku. I want to fuck you up. You're fucking up Giyu, but I can't let you know that I want to kill you. And then you just walk up on him and do that, So, and to me, I think the backstory is more to shine light on how corrupted and evil Muzan is, because he finds these people in their lowest of lows, where life is just kicking them in the balls over and over. And he's like, I can help you out. And, he just finds them at their most vulnerable, because Akazu was just like, you can turn me to a demon, but can I still fight? Like, can I fight? And he was destroying people mortal in his mortal self. Like, that fucking clan, they had swords. And when these people came out, they're like, yeah, we're finding there's like blood and brains all on the wall in here. And then they roll up on him. I'm just like, this dude is so angry, because life is just kicking him in the balls. And Muzan's like, you can come with me and continue to get stronger and fight forever. And that's what fed him as a demon, because he kept getting Rengoku like, bro, just be a demon and we can just squabble every day and get stronger. And Goku's like, boys. I think each time you see these backstories for these demons, and even with God, I forget their names, but the moon ranks from the lower moons from Entertainment District, like they're like, God damn. And then Muzan's just like, my boy, hey, I got a deal for you. Like, it's hard to find food, it's hard to do this and that. Come with your boy. Like, I got everlasting, eternal blessings. You'll live forever and be strong, and nobody will squabble with you again. So I think that's one of the main reasons the backstory was like that. In the manga, it doesn't go as long. There's not as much detail, but I didn't mind it. I'm watching it, and
Mhm.
I get it. Some people who are just, they want the action. Like they're cool with the little backstory. Oh, that's how he became a demon. Okay. But then they're just like, well, let's get back to this fight. So for the antagonist, I think he was the main one. He wasn't the worst one though of the movie.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think we'll talk
Good
Yeah,
about
point.
right. Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't the worst, that's for sure.
I will say some other things that I thought were cool, especially with his backstory, and it's relating to the fight with him, Giyu, and Tanjiro as well. I thought like what
Mhm.
was really cool that Kiyoharu did is all the Easter eggs with like why he looks the way that he looks, and also his fighting stance and the things with that. So like the snowflake that appears like underneath him when he's about to do one of his
The Conquistador.
blood demon arts. Yeah, he that is the same as the pin that is on his wife's hair, and all of his blood demon arts is a name for like a firework. That's why everything's like a blast or something, and fireworks were like their thing that they were going to go see together. Um, and then of course like his tattoos, but so I thought that was like I thought was really cool too is that a lot of the demons you don't in their even in their backstories, like it's tragic, but in all of them so far, we haven't seen them like with the capacity to like love, like to fall in love and have a wife or even a husband. It's been like brother, sister, and kind of like whatever. But even
Yeah.
that was kind of weird. So I thought it's like, hey, these people like were people and like loved and like had all of this, and that's what this person was capable of. So I thought it's really cool that they capture that with this. And I think personally, so far, he's one of my most favorite of like all of the demons.
100%. And like for a upper three, like for those who've seen it, like he was giving Giyu and Tanjiro the business. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they were on like their last lifeline fighting this dude before Tanjiro figured out what the fuck to do, man. Like Tanjiro's like, there's gotta be something. I gotta figure
Yeah.
something.
Dude, his like the music too, like when he would get down and he slowly got down in his stance, and then it was just this like
Oh,
tin, 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 and it was just like,
that
oh
fucking
my god,
stance.
it's
It's just
about
like
to
y'all
be
better
sick.
run. Y'all
Yeah,
Yeah.
better
dude.
run.
It was building to that point because actually when Gyu steps in, you're just like, oh, okay, well maybe they're gonna, this is gonna be it for him pretty quickly. And then when it just you're just like, no, it's not gonna be over quickly.
I do like the fact that when Giyu was fighting him, like he entered that form and he got his mark, his
Yes,
Hashira mark. I'm
yes,
just like, bro, let's fucking go, man. Like
dude.
Mhm.
everybody awakened down here, and you just got to push yourself to that limit. And Giyu was pushing himself, man. But like I said, because of it, he was knocking down whole buildings in this Affinity Castle. You
Yeah,
Yeah.
know,
dude.
like when he
It's
would miss, you're just like, thank God he missed, because that would have been
yeah.
over for somebody.
Yeah.
Luckily,
It
this
was
is
like
an
and just the
infinity
fact that he
castle
like
because if it was just a normal castle, we'd all be in trouble because this castle's
yeah,
going down.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
the infinity castle was the only way he could be contained because that shit was like boom, and there goes one whole castle. It's like damn.
Yeah, and just, like, all of the parrying that he did with just his fists and the sword and the sound and just, like, all of that with, like, the art.
That is why I think a lot of people gravitated to him. Is like he's all hands,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. These are
Like
registered.
yeah,
Mhm.
fighting Rengoku, and he's just like
Hashira destroyers right here, buddy. It's
just
like
blocking swords with his
Yes.
forearms and stuff. People are like, "What the? How the hell?"
Yeah.
Like that is how strong he is. That is how. Like when he became a demon, they're probably like, "Here's a weapon." Nah, I got Jack
Yeah.
yeah.
Johnson and fucking Larry Allen about
Yeah.
to do battle.
Yeah. I mean, he earned that time. The time they gave him in that movie was well deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, that was important. It was important because he's been an important figure for what, couple years now?
Yeah, since
Yeah.
he off Rengoku, everybody's like, "Fuck this
Yeah.
guy."
I
Yeah.
mean, dude.
And I think people are probably mad because the backstory made them feel something towards him, and they didn't want to.
Yeah, they
That's
just
Nah,
wanted to hate him.
that's
all that, yeah.
Like, I just want that bitch dead.
some people just, like, want nothing but action and no, like, plot with some
Yeah.
Well, that's
shows,
why
and it's
Solo
like, "Why are you
Leveling, yeah,
watching Demon Slayer?" Demon Slayer's all about backstories
Story.
and character development and stories, so I don't.
well,
Yeah.
that's why Solo Leveling won Anime of the Year.
Yep.
Exactly, that's a that there you go. We
So, I mean, we did talk about, I guess, the main antagonist. Let's talk about what I guess is unanimously across this board the least favorite of the three enemies in this one. Kagaku, the opponent for Zenitsu, who, when you look at their backstory, they were training together, and Zenitsu his I don't want to say his learning capacity was limited, but he can only learn the one form, right?
Mhm.
And his senior, Kagaku, he was learning every other form. And he was just like, it's a waste of time. I should be the successor of lightning
The
breathing,
old man, yeah.
all of that. And for whatever reason, he was just driven by just learning and creating his own form of breathing. And I guess Muzan caught him in a moment of vulnerability, and he became a demon. And 100%, once Zenitsu fell in there, he was like, "That's who I want." He wanted to go after his former
Yeah.
training partner. How did you feel about this fight, Jackie? You kind of mentioned it in the spoiler-free portion of it? Like, you felt like if this one could have been a little bit more filled out, fleshed out, this
Yeah.
probably would have gave you that little quarter of a bowl for the 5 bowl rating.
I think it's because I really I when I first started watching Demon Slayer, I didn't hate him. I thought Zenitsu was, like, kind of annoying, so I didn't know how I was gonna like him as a character, but now he's, like, besides Inosuke, he's, like, one of my most favorites
Yeah, me too.
now.
Yeah.
Um, but, so even throughout, like, I knew, like, like, uh, thunder breathing first form was, like, the only thing he could do, so I was really excited to see, like, what his training got him. Um, and so when he met this guy and they kinda, like, have their bout and they kinda start fighting, I was hoping it was gonna be a little bit longer. I was hoping that it was gonna be him, like, not doing any new breathing techniques, but just, like, even going faster, just doing something a little bit more with some of the things that he was doing, and I was hoping he would get more credit for all the training that he's done. That's what I was hoping. Yeah, it ended on, like, probably the coolest note, which is what this picture is, and he had created his own breathing form, which makes sense, and I think that is 100% valid, and it was so sick.
That makes
Um,
his little segment in the Hashira training arc, when they're just like, "You want us to help you with this boulder?" He's like, "Nah, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna do this
yeah,
shit." And then when he's falling into the castle, like, he's just game on
yeah,
because he knew he had the move to do it.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, it's that's why, like, that too, like, so when he was falling, it's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the Zenitsu moment that he fucking gets," and so, like, of course, like, Tanjiro and Giyu got more of the moment on, like, the whole movie, which I get why, it's because Akaza was gonna be the primary focus for his backstory. I just, that is why, like, for this, I did like the fight. I liked that we came full circle for who this person was, because in all of his backstories, you just saw you didn't know it was his older brother, so you find that out, and then you just see this dude's back, and then it's also full circle because he was one of the kids that the Stone Hashira took care of, who betrayed him and ruined that whole thing that they had around the building, that all those demons came and killed all those kids,
Mhm.
which was crazy. When I saw I was like, "I know who that is," and then realized that. So it like, that was, like, cool, but, yeah, I think that's I was so excited for this. Once we came to this, I was like, "I can't wait, I can't wait." And then it's like, as excited as I was about it, it ended, like, really fast, I felt too. It's like, I think it was, like, maybe he got 15, 20 minutes of screen time. I'd have to actually look it up, but I'm guessing, out of, like, the 45, 60 minutes that, Giyu and, Tanjiro's part got with Akaza, and so that's the only reason why I was kinda like, I really wanted to see more with Zenitsu. I was really hoping it was gonna be this crazy part with him, and it didn't happen, but this part was sick. Another Easter egg part, which I found out is only in the manga, is, uh, Human Nezuko, mentioned something in a side story in the manga that one of her favorite shogi pieces is called the Nasho. Hold on, I'm grabbing it really quick.
Mhm.
Hisha, and from shogi is like her ideal type of man, and that's like a powerful piece similar to a rook. And it's like the Dragon King, so it's cool because Zenitsu's final form, Flaming Thunder God, appears as a yellow lightning dragon, which mirrors the same movement that that shogi piece does. So I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing, and it just shows how much he's obsessed with her. And I thought that was really cool. So I did like this, but yeah, I wished I got a little bit more Zenitsu time.
I agree. And if people were to use that in their disappointment with how long the Akaza, Giyu, and Tanjiro fight was, like they could have evenly just, gave more time, more love to Zenitsu.
Lost audio.
Oh, we can't hear you, Willie. I thought it was me. I was like, what just happened? I was like, what?
Back.
Find out.
You
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. But yeah, I think it's I think the fan base was gravitating more towards Zenitsu, right? As the show
Yeah.
was going on, seeing that he was becoming more capable as a fighter instead of the lovable, goofy guy who would have to pass out to do a move, becoming more of a warrior on the level of where Inosuke and Tanjiro are getting at, to where he can willingly perform these moves and be more of a threat to these demons. And I mean, the person that he went up against is no slouch. There's 12 ranks, right? He was an upper 6. So he's the first level of the upper ranks. And any other time, I guess people would be like, oh, Zenitsu's cooked. There's no way he's fighting an upper moon, and he was able to pull it off. So the
By
back,
himself.
yeah, like no
Mhm.
help. He did like I said, these guys, like they're fighting these high ranked opponents. They're not walking away unscathed. Like Zenitsu did get like messed up, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he got messed up. Shout out to the medic corps that are out there helping him, which I think is dope. It's not just the Hashira down there and our main characters, right? There's a lot of other Demon Slayer core that are down there
Mm.
just to help them out. They're here to help them out, provide that support and stuff. And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't shout out I forget his name. Let me look
Oh,
it up.
the one that did like a lower form of water breathing. He does
No,
the same thing
no.
as
Ubuyashiki, the Demon
Oh, the
Slayer
sun.
his kids up there
Yes.
drawing the maps real time.
Oh, I know, like
Dude.
tracking it.
With
So
the Jesus, man.
so here's the thing. Me and Steven, like I have to show this because this was actually the opening scene in the opening sequence from last season. So
Yeah.
like this was the very beginning. And like I remember seeing this and I was like, there's not that many. Because some people like thought they were all the same. Comes to
Mhm.
find out they're not.
Yeah.
So foreshadowing, I thought it was interesting that the 2 that, died are on the left side and the 3 that survived are on the right.
Mhm.
But Ubiyashiki, because the males tend to not have illnesses and not a lot of them get to adult form, they are raised as girls. So the first time that Ubiyashiki's son actually shows up in the show is in first season during the first selection with Tanjiro and crap, I forget the other guy's name that eats demons to get their power, but um that's when he first shows up, but you don't realize that because he looks like a girl, and so now this is his technically first appearance in the anime, where now he is, like, with his 2 sisters, like, trying to build this map and trying to figure out where Muzan is, and that was insane, that was incredible, and he's only I think he's still 8, and they don't take over, or they can't take technically, they're not capable of taking over the clan until they're at least 13, and
Yeah.
he's doing this at 8 years old.
I
Mhm.
thought it was great that they they took the time to show the support given by the other members of the Demon Slayer Corps. I mean, as I know they're not in the mix, but they're so integral to them being able to navigate the Infinity Castle, and they conveyed that so well. That it's a functioning whole group. The whole group's effort going into this, I think, was they were the key to showing that it's like a whole effort. It's not just a simply I'm a badass, I'm gonna walk in and kill everybody. You know what I mean? It's like
The fact that Ubuyashiki knew this would have to happen. He was probably preparing his other 3 kids to perform this duty, using the demon was he's using what's her name's
Oh,
demon to where he could use the eyes of the ravens to see what's going on, and they're all continually just painting as the castle moves. They're just updating the map, and then being able to relay information to all the Demon Slayer Corps that's down there. The part where they have to relay that
Yushiro.
yeah, the relaying the death of one of their own, and then that joyous moment towards the end where Tanjiro and Giyu finally beat Akaza, and then the Ravens are announcing that, and then it builds the fighting morale of the rest of the. You see it in their face. They're like, I knew we could do it. Like, we have a chance down here, So it's like, because he's not down there with the sword doing the fight, and he plays just as big a role in defeating Muzan up there doing the support. So I think that was dope to show that part of it as well, and not just the action in the fighting in the Infinity Castle.
Yeah, I think that the fact that it showed all the underclassmen, or like they're not Hashira, they're just in the Demon Slayer Corps. They show up and they're like, "Hey, we'll fight all these minor guys, so you guys don't have to waste your energy," And it just, to me, it reflects on how important the training arc was, because all those people in the training arc that were inspired by Tanjiro and everybody, and seeing the Hashira and learning from them, it built their camaraderie, it built their cohesion. So when they come here, they don't care if they're not as powerful. They're going to do their part to whatever they can to back these guys up, even at the cost of, they know they're not as powerful as these demons, and it solidified more that all those other things that people are like, oh, the training arc is so boring. I'm like, it had a purpose. Look, you're seeing it now. You're seeing the fruits of the labor that they went through. Like you mentioned with Zenitsu, it was the training arc was when he, had that epiphany to create his own, move, his own form. So whether or not there was enough action, like you mentioned, everyone wants all that action. All that buildup was important, because it makes it's all the keys, the puzzle pieces that fit in when we're watching this go, oh, all those other dudes came to fight, man. All those other guys jumped in, even though they're just people without the same level of skill. They're like, I'm going, I'm going to do what I can so the Hashiras can go and face Muzan. It's all integral parts that build this whole picture. So I feel like it was important from the Ravens on down to these underclassmen all the way through. It all made the whole picture clear of how they were going to do this. Because when you're first thinking of it and they fall into the Infinity Castle, you're like, how are they going to do this? This thing, it's constantly shifting or whatever. And then when you see them and they're drawing each spot out and they're like tracking it and they're calling it out, you're like, that's it. That's awesome. It's an explanation instead of just, well, we'll just power through. We'll just keep fighting. It's like, how impossible that would be in a castle that's constantly shifting and has no end. So the fact that
this is super
exactly,
blurry, but
yeah, I mean,
it's like the
they
best
showed how they're going to do it. It wasn't just a like, oh yeah, they're going to use the power of family, as Willie likes to say, or the power of friendship. It's like, no, they actually had a plan, and you're watching it unfold. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did
and
you guys think
ahead.
about? Sorry, what did you guys think about? Because going back to Zenitsu's fight, like with his like grandfather. Oh, there you go. The one I was trying to share was because like that scene where
Oh,
because
when
they
they're
start
oh
changing
yeah,
more,
I know
and it's
exactly.
just like endless, and I was just
Mhm.
like, how
Yeah,
did
same.
they do this? Like, because like at that point I was like, that's crazy, but also I was thinking in my head of like the cinematography at that
Oh
point
yeah, it was
of
beautiful.
just like I was like, yo, this
It's
is
How
beautiful and
to
scary at the same time.
insane.
You're just like,
if
wow, that's
somebody was to
terrifyingly
tell
beautiful.
you to just, hey, in my mind, I have this final layer where they'll do this battle, and it's an infinite void with the infinite rooms that keep moving and shifting around.
Yeah.
And I want you to draw that for me. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
they fucking nailed it. I don't
Yeah,
think
it was
I could
insane.
imagine after seeing that it anybody else doing anything on that scale.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
So shout
it
out
was
to the
crazy.
Ufotable again.
The artists
Yeah.
just they outdid themselves for real.
Um, well, one thing I didn't say before, about the creator is I found out apparently, like, whereas most mangakas, like, they aren't as involved with the anime process, they kinda give their 2 cents and move on.
Yeah,
I guess she is, like, 80% involved all the time with Ufotable and
we should be.
everything that they're producing. So she'll give, like, "That's not the color," or "That's not what I wanted, that's not the vision." Like, she's, like, super incredibly involved with how it should look, which I thought was, like, super
Yeah.
cool.
That shows she has a lot of passion for it. So it comes
Yeah,
through. You see the result. When they truly love their material, it shows.
um, but what did you guys think about when Zenitsu had to, like when he's, on the cuffs of, like, dying, essentially, and
Mhm.
now you got the river Styx, between him and, like, his grandfather and, like, that whole scene?
That was awesome. I thought it was great. I mean, I know it wasn't a whole lot of the focus of the story, but as we've seen from the beginning of the series, Zenitsu's been his sidekick, his buddy, but kind of the goofy one, like Willie said. He wasn't, he'd pass out, he'd freak out at the sight of danger, and you're always like, oh, this poor kid ain't gonna make it anywhere. And to see it come around and the way he interacts with his his brother and saying like, he didn't want to take his place, he always looked up to him. It's kind of like letting him know, like, all your anger and hatred towards me was misplaced because I always looked up to you. I always wanted
Mhm.
to, I strived because of you. I kept trying, and then that guy was just an ass though, because even after all that, he still didn't give a shit. It's
That
like,
sucked.
so just to watch that moment when Zenitsu unleashes his deal, his new deal on him, to me, that was like the Captain America getting the Mjolnir moment, like in Endgame, when he's just like, everybody kind of like loses their minds in the theater. You could
Yeah,
see it because everyone's worried about Zenitsu when he falls in. Like you said, you're like, this guy's not ready. And then when he shows up
yeah.
like that, and you're like, oh god, he's only got his one form, man. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Did his brother say he could never master that first form that Zenitsu mastered?
That's the
Yeah,
only. That's the
That's the only
only.
thing he couldn't
That's
do,
the only
right?
one we couldn't do. It's the first
but
one.
it's the most important one because
It's
it's the
foundation
basis.
base.
Yeah,
It's the foundation of everything, and the old man, his grandpa knew that.
yeah.
So like that's why he felt like Zenitsu was going to ultimately be the one to take the helm and not his brother.
But
Where his
Zenitsu
brother was
didn't
so focused on the competition,
yeah.
he wasn't learning so I thought it was great. I mean, yeah, like you said, I wish there could be more because he became one of my favorite people, man. Zenitsu over the course of this whole series has become that guy you just really root for. Yeah, he, I think his faith in Tanjiro is a plus too. Like he that him and Inosuke really believe in and support Tanjiro, and I think that it's like their little three musketeers there. Just you grow to love them. You know,
Yeah,
Did
I
you
think
cry
it
at that
it
part, Jackie?
oh, I bawled my eyes out.
He's like it's OG-chan, man.
Oh,
It's like
I wanted to see. I wanted to be like, "What'd you guys do? How'd you guys think about that?"
it was a tear jerking
He
moment.
when he said his name and, he's like, "All right, I disappointed him." He's like, "You make me so proud." I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh
because every flashback, when you're watching the seasons, is just like he's
his
hitting him on the
grandpa's
head.
super hard on him and
boop. And he was like, it's that tough love thing. Like at the end, like
Yeah.
I did that because I knew you could be this. And
Yeah.
to see you be this, I couldn't be more proud. I was like,
And as an Asian person, I can tell you when your parents, that's one thing Asian people I think always look for is that I'm proud of
Yeah.
you moment from their parents because it's so rare. It's like
They don't say it.
I'm proud of you. Like what? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It was good
Me?
though. I was glad. I mean, obviously, I was glad he's not gonna die, but I was like,
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was gonna die when beginning of the movie. Like I was like,
if he died, I would have walked out. I almost walked out 30
Yeah.
minutes in
oh, I
because
know.
I was so upset.
Yeah,
I
man.
almost walked out. I almost
yeah,
walked
man,
out.
that's
We'll
we
get
want
to there.
to talk about. Oh, you have more little Easter eggs and tidbits for the Zenitsu.
I think that was the biggest. All the Easter eggs I've talked about so far for all of those. I did want to share this because I forgot that I wanted to share that because I just thought that like Stan
that was a cool point. Yeah, that it was with his wife's
when he
hair.
does that, and
And
I think that's when he starts to get ready to do his.
Because I
compass.
always wondered what the hell that I was like, what does a snowflake have to do with anything of his? Like what?
The back of his Haori too is also a symbol for like I think it's like it's something his wife like wears or something. I don't know, but I don't know, dude. It's just he's such a great guy.
It was really good. I thought that backstory was awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I have from up to this point until we get to the first part.
Ready for Shinobu and
Getting straight to the tragedy. No.
So you guys haven't read the manga. I need to know you're like in the moment when you saw that happen. Again, she's fighting upper rank 2. So this dude's again not a fucking slouch.
No.
Thoughts? We'll start with you, EJ. Jackie looks like she has to get herself together.
I know Jackie's probably got a lot for us.
I'm like reading all my notes and
I'm just gonna say that this was heartbreaking, and just the flashbacks with her sister and how she was like wanting to get vengeance for her. It was, man, that was stabbing me in the heart, dude. And for a moment, I can't remember if it was when which form or skill she was using at the moment, but it seemed like she got the upper hand for a second. And I was like, maybe she's gonna get this vengeance for her sister, bro. And then for it to be shattered on me, I was just like, man, that talk about pain. That shit hurt, dude. I was just like, she was one of the best from the beginning for me because I felt like she was always so accepting and welcoming and I don't know, just a place of safety for Tanjiro and the others as far as like not nurturing, but supportive. And then, she was just impressive with her skills too. I was like, I didn't doubt that she was going to be able to, fight with this dude. But then like during the battle, it was just like he was like grating on my nerves. It was like every time I felt she was getting the upper hand and it looked like it for a second, it's like he was fucking toying with her. And I was just like, I wanted to kick, being his ass. Like,
the voice actor is he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He's the one that can just make you hate him. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It was a devastating moment. It was beautiful at the same time. Everything about that fight was beautiful. Her little flashbacks with her sister though, and him kind of just trolling on her with it just made it that much worse. The fact that she lost her life was just terrible. I mean, you're just like, you act like it's a real person. You're like, we need a moment of silence and flags at half staff here because this is just not cool.
You look at your watch, it's like, bro, we're like 35 minutes into this.
I was like, what's happening? I'm gonna leave.
I was like, if they're all gonna die, I felt like it was the beginning of the first domino falling, dude. I was like, if they're all gonna die, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
I was like, what else is gonna happen now? Because this is bullshit.
Because as soon as she died, and then they shoot back to the fight, and I thought Giyu was gonna die at the moment when Tanjiro saves him from the he just got hit, and you think he's gonna kill him just like he did with Rengoku, he's gonna kill the same way, and then his arm falls off. Oh, thank God, because I thought he was about to die too. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm just
Dude,
gonna
I'm
leave.
sitting here thinking it's about to be like a Kame got kill moment. I'm like,
I was
oh
like,
my
oh,
god,
don't do it.
everyone's
Don't kill two of my
Everybody.
favorite people. Don't kill two of the favorites right now.
I was
What
so
about you,
mad.
Jimmy? How did you handle the fight?
Um, dude, it was so tough because I was like, okay, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. And then, because she kept changing all the poisons, and it
Yeah,
wasn't working. And then when she switched to her like centipede dance, which I found this like I hurried up and took a snippet from a
yeah.
TikTok video. Um, and she's like doing this crazy. I was like, whoa, this is
I
my
thought this
most
was the
favorite
turning
form,
point.
my
Yeah,
most favorite form of hers. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so sick, right? And then she's like being hugged by this asshole, and Canal shows up, and he's like, "Oh, welcome," and he just fucking crushes her and breaks her back and bones,
And
and I'm like,
absorbs her.
"Are you fucking kidding me?" And so, of course, like, I have this teenager sitting next to me the whole time, by the way, and look, not her fault. She's a teenager. She smelled so bad. But,
Damn,
she's
I
she's
think
fr
that is her fault.
I
She
don't know. Kids don't know how
can
to bathe.
control that.
Kids don't know how to bathe sometimes.
deodorant, please. It's
Some
not. It's
kids
Can
not.
totally control that.
puberty, whatever. But anyways, so I was like trying to like, kind of not smell
Sit a little
this
bit this way.
girl,
Like,
this chick next to me. But me and her both at the same time, like, just like,
You
and I'm
guys bond,
sitting here
trauma
like
bonding.
whatever, and she's like, but she keeps moving. She's like literally like jumps up on the chair, like freaking out, right? And I'm just sitting there like, what? And um, and he just slowly did that, and then I wanted to ask you guys like, what were your thoughts on like once that happened? I know what my thoughts were, but when that happened, how like Tandro and Gyu found out about that and their like reactions to that.
Well, so I mean, Tanjiro's gonna, his heart is big. Like this dude has compassion for demons. You know what I'm saying? Like when he
Yeah.
finds out, uh, you know, why they're turned into demons or whatever, they get back. So he's just like, oh, I can't fucking kill you with animosity. Let me do a graceful,
yeah,
quick decapitation, painless stuff. But I think it's like what Eric said. His first interaction with the Hashira little camp, everybody's treating him like ass because he has this
yeah,
demon sister, right? He's in this coma. She and the rest of the, her little troop are nursing him back to health and helping him train and teaching him how to like endure the breathing and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
like, she had just the biggest role as
Yeah.
training Tanjiro as anybody else in the Hashira
mhm,
Corps. I think Rengoku was going to take him to another level, but obviously he got taken away too soon. But she had a very big role in getting Tanjiro where he is today. So him finding out that she is no longer here, I think led into the fight with Akaza. Like he's already mad one Hashira was taken
Yeah.
from somebody who he just met, but he knew they had a bond, and he saw Rengoku like, you guys stay back. This is in a sense grown man business. Like y'all, I know y'all aren't ready for this guy. I'm
Mhm.
probably not ready for this guy, but I'm gonna do everything I can. Right.
mhm.
So for Akaza to take Rengoku, and then now he's hearing his other one of because they had plenty of moments where it's just them talking and she's sharing a lot of things with him. They got close, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and then for him to hear like she's gone, I know that had to anger him, do something to him. So when he saw Akaza, like it's probably Rengoku, and then now just
Yeah.
because it just happened,
Yeah.
Shinobu, he's just like these people gotta go, and he's just yelling Muzan, which if I was rolling with Tandra, I'd be like, yo, chill the fuck out, bro. Like,
Yeah. We ain't
Let
ready
us
for Muzan,
let
dog.
us
We
let us
ain't ready for Muzan.
yeah, let's Splinter Cell this shit and use stealth. You know, this is
Let's
stealth
stealth our
mission.
way around till we're
But
all together to fight Muzan. Because I ain't doing this shit by myself.
that's an emotional thing, and
Yeah.
the demons know that. Like, if they can fuck with the demon slayers, like kill them or dwindle their numbers and kill them in a way where it's like the most. I think that was his aim, like to just absorb and like first crush her bones and then just
Dude.
absorb her, and then she's like half absorbed when Kanao gets there, right? And then
No,
she's
she was just being held, and she does a symbol to her with something.
oh, that's the thing to let her know, like, hey, this is how his fighting thing is going, and it's cool. Like he just picked that up. Oh, she gave you a symbol, huh? She kinda
Yeah, dude,
put you
immediately.
on. I'm just like, this dude is
I hate this guy.
I hate him
next
too.
level shit. But I just like when I read it in the manga, like, so I'm reading it on my phone, the manga, and this was back when I was in Arizona. I'm waiting to pick my son up from work, and I'm on my way. Give me 10 minutes. I'm reading this shit, man, and that shit happened. I just put the phone down and I'm just looking at the window and shit. I'm just like, let me go back a couple. Like, I know what I just saw. Like, the pictures are here, everything's here. I'm just like, of all the things that I didn't want to see brought to life from the manga, this was it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the way they animated the death scene and how
Yeah,
he
I was
just
about to ask you, how was
it. I mean, it's still images. You just see them hugging, and then like the next frame, she's like slowly being inside, but like to see it like
Yeah.
in motion, like, and then
Yes.
oh my
It was
god,
heartbreaking, dude.
and it's they couldn't have put her against a worse opponent.
Yeah, they literally put her was he number 3?
Number
Two,
2.
2,
ranked up.
yeah.
And the fact that he can adapt his blood to just
Anything.
Yeah.
she was like, here's all of the poisons, and he was like, oh no, psych.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
I mean, of all the people she could run into, that's who she ended up facing. Is like the
but I
luck of
mean,
the draw on that is just terrible.
he's just been cocky his whole life because you see the backstory. He was born with the special eyes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he was a cult
He's
leader.
terrible. There's no redeeming qualities to his
Never,
ass.
never had any compassion for anybody. Like his parents died, and he wasn't upset. He was just like, "Oh, this is an ugly look. Like it smells bad in here."
Yeah.
And you know, it's this. He just was always better than everybody. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know if he's taking that like the interactions behind the scenes when it comes to the hierarchy, but knowing that there's people ranked higher than him, I don't know how he takes to that. But
Yeah.
he's just toying with these Hashira because he sees them not on his level.
Mhm.
But the comeuppance he gets is I can't wait for you. Oh my god,
I
I
can't
want
wait to see it.
you guys
Yeah,
to know.
I thought what was really sad, so, like, me and Steven talked about, like, when the crow was like, "Hey, this she's dead." I was like, "Oh my god, it is re" I was like, because at first I was more in shock, I was upset, but then when the crow was saying that, I started
Uh-huh.
crying more because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, it is real." And then there was the flashbacks when it went over to
Uh-huh.
Tanjiro and Giyu, but then I got confused and I read something and I realized, oh, one of the flashbacks where she's turning around and smiling was Giyu's flashback, and I thought it was Tanjiro's also, and it was his.
Mhm.
And that made me upset because that dude's normally, like, stoic, right, and doesn't show a lot of emotion, and you even see in the show, like, throughout all the seasons, she's like, "Giyu-san!" And he's just, like, annoyed every
He's like,
time.
don't bother me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. He's
She's
always like,
always bothering she's
like
always bothering him.
he's like, no, I'm not training you. Like I'm chilling.
Yeah, and so when he lost his stoic face and all that, I was like, "Oh my god," and so I'm
So
like,
let me
"Oh."
ask, because Eric said there was a glimmer of hope, like when she did the centipede thing. Were you just like, oh, now she's got him?
That's what
This
I
is
thought. I thought,
I
yeah,
thought, yeah,
I thought, like, uh, and I thought maybe, like, she's slowing down, like, maybe someone's gonna show up last minute.
yeah.
That's what I was hoping, because there's all these nerds are just
They're all
around
running
everywhere.
around. I thought that they might run into the same
Someone's gonna
chamber.
find her, and then, like,
Yeah.
the person who shows up is, like, the one person that cannot do anything, which is Kanao. And then she's like screaming now, and now I'm like, oh my god. And then then it goes back to her like being all cut up and stuff, and I'm like, now is Kanao gonna die? Because that's bullshit. So
Why is it bullshit? He's that strong.
Yeah.
because I don't care. I need the writing to at least go a little bit in the favor of how I feel. I need it to be a shonen, okay?
Just
I
give
need
me a shonen right here.
I know. I was waiting for like when just before he grabbed her when she's doing a centipede form. I was waiting. Like I thought that she had some sort of like I'm gonna save for a last strike. You know what I mean? Because she did get closer and closer. I was thinking she was gonna go for a kill strike, and then when he just grabs her, dude, it's like it's just so. It was hugely demoralizing. Just imagine if you were the other Hashira. You're just like, wow, the one person who supports everyone and is always there and doing the chipper things, like calling them out. And, yeah, dude. It's like,
Nobody's there for her. She was there for
I know. She was always there for everybody. Where the frick was everybody?
So stupid.
I will say the way they animated her that form, the centipede one, in the book, like I'm just like, well, this is something new. Watching it live, I'm like,
It
yo,
was
this
so
like,
sick.
Shinobu is that broad, bro. She that bitch.
Mhm.
Dude. Her, like all of her stuff she had, I was like, oh my god, I love her. Like her breathing forms and how they animated it with like, oh, I thought it
And
was
also,
so
I will say, without getting trying to look too into the backstories and how they got there, for her not to have a sword that slices like a katana, and for her to pretty much have like a rapier, and to
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
to the point where she becomes a Hashira, like that says a lot. She's been killing demons with just like what is it, Game of Thrones, when she had what's that sword, needle?
Mhm.
Yeah.
She, like a real chopping sword, but
Yeah.
to get to that rank and to have that breathing form, I'm just like, she's got to have something. And then so when I'm reading the manga and she starts all these different stances, I'm just like, here we go, here we go. So
Mhm.
again, it's the false hope for me too, because I'm just like, she's never used this before in any of the other chapters.
So you
She
thought
was
it might be the key, yeah.
for like, yeah, catching him off guard, and he was just like, that's cute. What else you got?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
know. Because I mean,
are you
she's
done
all about
already?
precision.
I'm
That's
like,
the
you
point.
son of a bitch.
She's all
Like,
about
read it.
precision. So you were just like, she's with the rapier. She's precision. She's all about that hit. And you're like, she's so close now. I was waiting for it, and then it's like, oh.
So yeah, yeah. So that's why Doma, who that's the demon, is
Yep.
the worst
Yep.
antagonist.
He is.
Yeah,
Because
fuck
he's the
that
only
guy.
one still alive from the first one. The only one that has killed a Hishara so far in the Infinity Castle, and he's toying with another one right now.
I just hope he just like gets the worst ending. I just really hope.
Everything he says is so condescending too, all the time.
Well, his voice actor
about,
is
like-
like a singer entertainer, so like they're supposed to sound like that, and like the dude that sings or does his voice is also voices Light Yagami. So
Oh, okay.
he's like
Yeah.
famous for knowing to be like that type of voice but also that's his character. His character is like,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, you could tell. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, when all the high ranking come together, he does the same thing to them too. The way he speaks to all of them is like they're inferior to him all the time. But that, I don't know. He's just an ass. I can't wait for him to die.
So out of all three of those fights,
Yes.
what would you guys say was probably like the best one? What did I have? I had a question. I know the way I worded it was different. Oh yeah. So which fight sequence do you think stood out the most for you out of all of them? And why?
Oh, Tanjiro and Gyu.
Yeah.
It's because it's the most multifaceted fight. And it got the most runtime, so more animation, you see more of the fight and stuff. I do feel like if they gave all fights the same amount of time, I would have been more invested in the Zenitsu fight. Because that one seemed like personal, and then I probably would have ranked Tanjiro and Gyu after that one. Only because like the awakening of Zenitsu is super dope. The full character art, seeing him from the screaming crybaby who didn't even get a he didn't even get a crow. He had like a robin. Like
Yeah.
like everybody at this kid like, bro, you're not even real. Do you even go here?
Dude, I
But
love
then
it
like
so much.
a part of me was like being grabbed because when Tanjiro went into I forget what demon, like he went into the house, he's like, hey, just watch this box. Don't let anybody fuck with this box. And then
Mhm.
Inosuke comes up, he's like, I smell something in this fucking box. Give me this
Yeah.
box. And Zenitsu's like, I can't let you do that. And he was fucking Zenitsu up. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, who the fuck is this boar kid? This is before I started reading the manga. I'm like, who the fuck is this boar ass kid beating the fuck out of this kid for no reason? And I know, who's in the box and everything. I'm like, don't let him get Nezuko. She can't see the sun, all that stuff. And he held it down. And from that point on, I'm like, he's a lovable loser.
Yeah.
He'll do the thunder breathing form when they're in the mountains and he killed off the spider. I was like, bro, that's dope. And then
Yeah.
he's like, oh, but I'm bitten, so I'm gonna just lay here. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, come on, man. Like, but seeing him falling in the finale of season 4, serious look, got his sword. He's like, I'm about to fuck some shit up down here. Running into his probably the last person he expected to see down there. He's just like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, you. And overcoming that, obviously still getting hurt, getting healed up by the medic corps and stuff like that. To your point, Jackie, I really did appreciate the fact when they were just like, hey, you guys rest up. We'll take care of these lesser demons. And he does the
Mhm.
the water breathing form. I'm just like,
Yeah.
look at them. Okay.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
"Aw, they grow up."
Yeah, I'm telling you, it showed the purpose of the training arc. You
It was
know,
But
sick. And it was really cool. Well, because I'm thinking like what's gonna happen is that it's gonna be like Pain almighty push and everyone's gonna die. Like they're
yeah.
gonna come in there and they're done. I'm like,
that
what
was a
is
big ass demon that was coming over to him. I was just like, yo, that motherfucker big. And they're just like, nah, rest up, save your energy for the big fights. Cause they're like,
we got
we can't
this.
fuck with the upper ranks. Like, that's y'all. We'll
Meanwhile,
take
they're
care of
like
this.
they're taking their sword and they get it through the neck and they're like, ah.
It's a team
But I
effort.
mean,
But
it
they got
was
it.
cool to see though that they came through. I mean,
Yeah.
it made it, like I said, it came full circle. You saw these guys struggling, and then they were inspired by Tanjiro during the training arc. They saw that Tanjiro keeps trying. Tanjiro's like telling them like, "Hey, we could do this," and it feeds back and forth because at the same time you see the growth of Tanjiro from being a woodcutter all the way up to where he's at now. Because when you first met him, he was. Remember when they're in the in the forest, Gyu's about to kill Nezuko. Okay,
Yeah.
and Tanjiro does that move where he throws the axe, but he was running, and Gyu was like, "That was very, impressive for someone who's not he's not a fighter at all. But for him to pull that off, he's like, he has some of that little potential. And then to see him come all the way here now, you're just like, and all along the way, he inspires people like Zenitsu, and Inosuke, and everyone along the way. I mean, they come along because of how, like Willie said, has a huge heart. They
Well,
believe in him because of the
what's
fact that, I mean, look, he won over all the Hashira that were trying to kick his ass when he first showed up there. They're trying to kill his sister, kick his ass, and he won them all over.
yeah.
I mean, he's probably one of my favorite anime heroes of all time. So I think like his fight was obviously going to be one of the biggest ones. He had a lot of invested in it because him and Rengoku were really close, or they started to form this bond. And then he watched this person that he looked up to die right in front of him.
Yeah.
So of course that fight's going to be huge. But yeah, Zenitsu's fight was, I mean, badass. None of this was wasted, in my opinion, because I mean her fight was excellent too, even though it was heartbreaking. I mean, all of it was great.
Yeah, what's cool about Tanjiro's character is Kiyohara, when she initially came out the one shot, it was all very depressing and a lot more darker. And when she brought that same theme to the editor's like, I don't think this is gonna capture as many people as you think it will. You need to change the personality of like the main character. And so that's when she changed it to someone who's just very noble and true and
Yeah.
loyal, and then it became who he is now. It's kind of the same with like a lot of people who have like Oda for One Piece, like his editor said the same thing for when he needed to change some of the direction and now look at One Piece. So it's kind of cool how the team, especially editors, can also influence just one little thing, and like the whole story goes a different route, and now you have like what you have, and yeah, it's just Kiyoharu said that like she wants to do a sci-fi romantic comedy next. She wants to do something completely different than um something like this. So I'm excited about
I
that.
like that. I like the fact
Yeah.
that she's doing something different. A lot of people kind of just look, and there's people out there that'll see what she does for her next project and be like, we want another Demon Slayer is type. Like, let these creators create. Let them be
Yeah.
free to do what they want to do. She gave us an amazing story here.
Yeah.
Let's a standing ovation applaud. Hopefully
Let's
this
trust
is an Oscar for best animated film. And they
Yeah.
better do that best foreign animated film. Like this shit better fucking
Yeah.
let me just, because if we're talking domestic
Yeah.
animated films this year,
Oh yeah,
Dog
I did do a comparing to K-pop Demon
Dog
Hunters.
Dogman,
Mm.
36 million, The King of Kings, 17.6 million, Elio, 21 million. This is opening weekend. And The Bad Guys 2, 30 million opening weekend. Demon Slayer, 70 million. Like
Yeah.
reviews off the
Don't
chart.
yeah.
Stop. All right.
Don't throw me that garbage of best just foreign. Like, no, dude, that's just the best.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking do it, Academy. Don't.
They probably will because they're gonna
know
throw
they're
it. They're
do
gonna
it.
throw
You
the.
fucking know they're gonna do it.
They're gonna throw it to Disney, bro. That's just what they do.
This hasn't put nothing out.
I know.
That's true. They
If
haven't.
Elio wins some shit, bro.
I
ride.
know. It's like
I
what
I
seven?
think
What
I
is it? 17
uh,
million or 20 million for Ezio or whatever?
Elio was
Elio-
21, and that
Yeah,
was
21. Come on.
that was the budget. That was the budget for this movie.
I know.
that's what I'm saying. Elio was ass. Like we took my son to
I
see
didn't
it,
watch it.
and there was a scene at the end where he almost cried because he is softy like his dad. But
Aw.
outside of that, it was just like, bro, this movie could not have been. This could have went straight to Disney Plus, and nobody would have been like, oh wow.
That's how I feel about Inside Out and Inside Out 2. Like, please stab me.
I love it.
I love Inside Out, man. Don't
I
no Inside.
love. Yeah, dude, I'm such a huge
Sorry.
fan of Inside Out.
Sorry, I'm not as
Bing bong, bing
It's cool.
bong.
Bing Bong freaks me out, okay? Sorry, Bing Bong's scary as shit. Okay.
Kids see creepy things when they're
Don't
younger.
ever pause the video with Bing Bong on the screen, okay? Because then his eyeballs are in different locations and it's just like that much scarier. You're just like, whoa, Bing Bong, you give me the wicked vibes, bro. I don't need to. But no, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of that one. But I know it made a lot of money and it, people like it a lot. So, but I mean, I feel like Disney's kind of run that pattern out, and I know they're gonna get looks like they always do, but it's not for the right reasons because this goes outside of the norm, and I think it should be awarded for that they've put so much effort and the longevity of it to
There's no
get it
way.
to this point.
Because if was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, 2022 or 23, The Boy and the Heron won best.
Yeah, I remember.
And
Yeah,
I'm just
and it was
like, I
good.
don't even think it was good, but it wasn't across the, or what was the sequel to Spider-Verse called?
Oh yeah, I was with you on that. I watched The Boy and the
it's
Heron, and
good.
it was okay.
It was good, but if Spider-Man
But
didn't come out that year,
Across the Spider-Verse, man, that's
yeah. But
I think that it's gonna
Sony put
its
that shit
competitor
down,
is K-pop Demon Hunters, if anything, because K-pop
Yeah.
Demon Hunters came out this year. So I think that's the only thing I can say can compete against it.
and I would understand that more because of the fact that it's caught on like wildfire and it's got a huge fan base now.
It does.
To me, I could see them going head to head, but if they throw some garbage like Dogman or this Bad Guys 2 up,
well, they got to have at least 5 nominees, I think. So they're gonna throw some other.
Dogman's gonna be up there.
But I think Demon Slayer should win because I think K-pop Demon Slayers was a vehicle to push the music out.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and I think Demon Slayer is more of this is a continuation of an established story that has been brought to life in an amazing way. sooner or later people are going to realize like anime should be taken seriously, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a gimmick. It's not a flash in the pan. It's not a fucking fad.
No,
The shit is
No.
real. It's
it's
been
not
around,
weird. It's actual good stories, okay?
Yeah.
And it's not for kids.
right?
No. Well, I
And,
mean,
and
it took them how long to realize that about comic books? Look, I mean, even if you're not a huge Marvel fan, if you liked the Underworld series with the vampires and the werewolves, that's a comic book. You liked The Watchmen, if you liked Constantine, if you liked a lot of this stuff, all comes from stuff that they were like, oh, that's kid stuff. Now that they're actually opening their mind and looking, they're seeing the level of story and stuff on a lot of this is well beyond what a lot of the garbage they've been pumping out for years, which is just repetitive. I mean, honestly, as a horror movie fan, how many times have I heard the so and so had a tragedy, they moved to the country to kind of get back, and they bought this old house, and that's like 90% of the movies you see on this shit. And it's like, bro, stop it. Give a chance to all this other stuff, but when they see animated, they automatically put it in the category of this is for kids or this is not as serious. When I mean, we've seen, I mean, the Spider-Verse that Willie brought up is it's a prime example, man. Sony just freak knocked it out the park with that. I mean, that was better than all their live action shit. It's like, come on, dude. They need to open their eyes, because if they did, could you imagine with the budget that they throw at some of this other stuff, what Ufotable could do with that
right.
on the next project? I mean, think about it. They dropped $300 million on Andor, the Star Wars show. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, Andor. I'm the outlier. Like I like Andor because it's not so much lightsaber, force,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. It's like these are real people doing the espionage, trying to
Yeah.
get.
And I mean, I'm not saying it's a
like,
bad story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
But-
people throw money away for like Red Notice on what was that? Red One, the Rock movie.
Red
Christmas.
One. Oh my God.
That shit was $250 million.
Yeah, man. I'm like,
that's cool, but this is only 20 million.
Oh,
and
I
it's-
did
let's
watch
make a
that.
Christmas movie with The Rock and Chris Evans, and it's about Santa being kidnapped. Like,
Yeah, it's a whole thing. But I'm looking at you, Academy. Like, don't you do it?
you're gonna lose a whole generation of fans because
Well,
you
I don't
they
really
can't
fuck
open their
with
mind.
Academy anyway. But I'm just like, when it's something like this that I'm passionate about, like I have not seen any other animated film this year worthy of that title than this. Like we still got what a few months ago, and the Oscar. I don't know their voting window, but I know it's usually they do the Oscars in February.
Yeah, so I think the voting window like is the beginning of winter. I don't know, but regardless, I mean, we've all seen it. The
February.
fandom for anime is crazy, and for them to drop the ball on it would be a sad moment, because I mean, right now they could be riding this wave and looking at all the properties that are out there that are great. I mean, Freyren's great. You know, we've seen. I mean, you got the live action Solo Leveling.
Coming in October should be good too. But we're all off topic. I know Jackie wanted to talk about the track and the music. What did you got for us?
Oh, so I did a deep dive on Amer and Lisa's music and their music video. First of all, it's sick. I do think Amer's is better, but since their original like music specifically for this, I don't know if did you guys listen to it or watch the music video?
I have not.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, I know you have. Well, I'm gonna ask, obviously. I gotta make sure.
Oh, we're not playing it live.
No,
They-
no.
They'll come right for us.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
They're gonna knock my door open if we do that.
Yeah. So these
Feeling.
I'm literally gonna be like, can you not?
Yeah.
And literally,
I have
guess-
COVID. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Do you want COVID?
We're
Do you
aware.
want COVID?
We already know they got masks on.
Yeah. We knew you had COVID, Jackie.
Yeah. We saw you take the test in your car in the parking lot.
We were
Like,
watching.
oh.
Like, oh,
Like, damn, they really need to up this fucking UAV program at the base.
for real.
People are spying. No, so Lisa's music video is like 6 minutes long. Amers is only like 2:40 or something like that. So the whole like themes for it, which is really cool, and they have like a translation for it, is Lisa's is ominous, but also seems more hopeful than Amers. Amers is definitely more like um
Dark.
uh a lot more like electric guitar and percussion, and it's more ominous and like more depressing. And someone kind of went on a deep dive of this, and I thought it was really interesting that Amers, she wears black, whereas Lisa wears white. So there's like the contrast for them. In
Mhm.
Lisa's music, she talks more about hope. So thinking that she's representing more of the Hashira and all the demon
Mm,
slayers. For like, hey, in this like deep darkness, like we're trying to search for the light no matter what. Whereas like Amer, uh, she's more representing the demons. She's constantly talking about like, yeah, I'm gonna crush this, and like this is gonna be mine for the taking. And so the theory is that she's actually Muzin because in the music video, she's a conductor and she's got like a marching band that's just playing to what she does, and she's the only singer in her song. Whereas with Lisa, she has nobody around her. She's singing, but there's a lot more singing in the background of her music. And so,
right.
like, Ubiyashiki is usually in the background and, like, taking care of his people. Everyone's always taking care of each other, so that's where the representation is, whereas Muzan doesn't care, he thinks of his people as tools, so it's also
Oh,
why they have instruments. She's conducting and all this stuff, and that's, like, the black and white, version of it. One person said that they Amers song could also be a representation of Akaza's point of view, because
Mm,
at one point the lyrics is, "The wild crashing waves brushes past my cheeks, in sorrow that has piled up and up, there is no hesitation, just face forward and fly." And it's like when Giyu was facing Akaza and he's water breathing, so those waves. And
yeah.
then, the sorrow of losing his lover haunts him forever, but he isn't aware of it, and his desperation to fill that void, he becomes hungry for more and more power. So I thought that was interesting, and it's a really, really cool. They're both really cool music videos. They're both dancing in it and doing like all these interpretive dance type style moves. What's it called? Contemporary dancing.
Mhm.
And the theme like follows the. I thought when they played it throughout the movie as well, and where they place it, because I think that Lisa's is in the beginning and Amers is in the beginning, and I think Lisa's is at the end, which does make sense because Tanjiro and Giyu kill
Yeah.
Akaza, and now there's a little bit of hope.
yeah.
So I thought it was really cool how they got these 2 just amazing freaking artists, especially bringing Lisa constantly back to the Demon Slayer because she's really the one that propelled it with the music, with her opening, and
And anything she does,
yeah,
I'm gonna listen to it.
yeah.
It's like
Oh,
she's
100%.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then Koku Shibu, which is the dude with the red hair and all the eyes, who we're still not sure about, like, what hit well, I'm not sure about yet for
Upper
the anime.
E.
Yeah, the ending theme of him at the end and how they were just doing this whole, like, guitar, just dude, it was insane. I was like, "My god, this is" because he found out that, Akaza died, and now this dude's like, ugh,
How do you guys feel that you have to wait 2 years for the next movie?
I guess I'm be watching this a lot.
uh,
Me rewatching this all the
is that
time.
what it said? It's 2027?
Yes.
Oh, I have a question though for both you guys because you guys know so much more than I do. Um, I was reading an interpretation. I don't know if this is popular amongst the fans for Demon Slayer, but they were talking about how each demon represents um, one of the deadly sins.
Mm,
Like Doma is gluttony because he consumes all the time and he never has enough. And
yeah.
then
It's a like when you look at anything like, and this is just me, any IP, any property that deals with like demons or something, somebody's always gonna look so into it and be like seven deadly sins. So I
yeah,
mean, it could be that, but I'm
yeah.
not. You know,
I just thought it was neat that they had a different one for, and I never really paid attention, but all the um Hashira and including Tanjiro and them is they all use they all focus on one of their senses. Like for Tanjiro, it's smell. Like he
Mhm.
always from the very beginning he smells
yeah,
differences and can't remember Inosuke's touch. because he's so visceral. Everything's physical with Inosuke. They were going through all, and I thought it was pretty interesting. But of course, with fans, they're always going to have all these different theories
Fan
pop up,
and stuff.
but
Yeah.
how each one kind of fits a certain deadly sin to face it. And it made sense that they were going over this. I didn't know if it was something widely accepted by Demon Slayer fans, if you guys looked into that. But it was like, how Tanjiro uses scent makes him perfect for fighting this. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it made sense, but I mean, anyone who delves in hard enough, like you said, Willie, can put the pieces together to fit their theory. But I thought it was pretty cool that I never really paid attention to the fact that each one of them kind of fell into those categories. I think Wrath for I'm sorry, but I mean it kind of made sense, and I was just wondering what you guys thought, if that played in, because I mean there's obviously so much symbolism, like even with the music, with Lisa in the white and then the dark heavy music to bring everything in the beginning. So it all, to me, it's like everything has that little bit of more depth to it, or symbolism behind it. And I thought that was kind of neat. Maybe there is a lot of it that the more we look at it, we see, because obviously the more we watch these characters unfold with the backstories that were given to us just in this movie, there's so much more symbolism that was being thrown at us from the very beginning, and we just never noticed, like the snowflake on the ground, or anything like that. It all comes together now. But I mean, wonder if those little intricacies are there, and we're just going to see more and more of, unfortunately, in 2027. But
Yeah, I will say one of my coworkers, I was talking to them, they brought up a good point that Demon Slayer's, I don't think, and I agree with this, it's a complex plot. It's pretty simple. Like there's a demon that controls like all these demons, and the backstories are like it's in depth, but it's not complex. Like everyone has like depth to them. It's not like fucking Attack on Titan where I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's pretty simple. And I remember in English class when I was reading this book called The Great Gatsby, and you find all the symbols. There's a lot of symbolism in that. And I was always the kid where my teacher had to be like, that's not a symbol. That's not a symbol. I was reading too much into it. So I don't think Demon Slayer is as complex. I think some people make it to be or want it to be, and I think they just have to accept that it's like very straightforward, and that there's just some like there's foreshadowing for sure for
Mhm.
things, and there's like obviously for people that find importance in things that they find important to them, they're gonna have like on them, especially demons, which makes sense. I do think people might be reading too much into it though, and just because I've never thought of that. I've never seen. I can see how someone might do that, but from the creator and what she was inspired by, which Naruto, Bleach, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are the 3 main things that inspired her to create this, along
Mhm.
with Rurouni Kenshin, so that's why I don't know if, like, it's valid because I don't think that's
really,
something she ever
JoJo's
thought
Bizarre,
about. Yeah.
I can see Naruto and Kenshin
Well, I mean, look
as
at
far as
these
the forms and the fighting styles and stuff.
the upper rank demons. I think is where that inspiration comes from, like the
Yeah.
design. It's like you look at
Okay.
somebody like Doma, who
Yep.
I mean, you're just like, bro, just cut and paste right out of a fucking JoJo thing with their style
The way that, the look.
yeah.
Okay. I was
So
just thinking, like, the character development and stuff. I was looking at, like, I understand the foundation as far as like Naruto and Kenshin. I mean, that's just the thing with pretty much a lot of the more successful anime, the same tropes of skill and learning skills and getting better. I mean, that goes all the way back. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can say any of those influenced over time. I
I
mean,
will
all the way
say,
back to DBZ for different forms, different power levels, different,
yeah, as a creator, I wouldn't even care. I would appreciate that fans are having their own thoughts and opinions on it. Like, I'm a big component of, unless the creator comes out and says this is what I was going for, these are the
Mhm.
undertones, this, that. I'm not gonna say somebody's wrong. They could be right,
yeah.
but I'm not. I was the opposite of what Jackie was. Like, I was the worst for when it came to these, classical Jane Eyre and stuff. What do you
Huh.
think he meant when he said this? That. And then somebody in the class, I think what he really meant was that this is a underlying saying for. I'm just like, who the fuck Why
That
are
was
y'all
me.
so into this shit? And then like I would, because that's what they want you to do. They interpret
Yeah.
it.
They want you to analyze and you
I'm
know,
just like, and at that point, it clicked in my head. I could say whatever the fuck I want and say, well, that's how I saw it. And they could be
Yeah.
like, well, you're not wrong. And I was like, this is the most worthless class, but if I need it for my CCAF, I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just the most, like, I'm in these student posts or the the little board place
Oh
where it's
yeah,
like,
things gotta do like every Wednesday and Sunday.
"Look,
Well, I
I
think
feel
that's a
character
huge
at this," and I'm just like, I feel if I put what I want to put, they're gonna be like 0 because I think he just I think I think he just wanted her to get out. Well, I think technically he really just wanted her to really open up. Like he wanted her to leave emotionally and stay physically. I'm like, what the fuck? But I'll play the game. I got my A. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a huge difference between literary analysts analyzing literature, especially because literature is so dependent on time, the time it was written. The Great Gatsby is 90% influenced by the period, the Gilded Age, and into the Depression. So
Yeah.
everything goes to that, which makes sense. That's what the writer knew. That's what he was living through.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about real depths of fiction and science fiction and fantasy, you're talking about worlds that don't have time or history to be compared to.
So everything
That's
is
why horror writers, I can see people sitting there and analyzing Poe, okay? Because a lot of what he said was poetic and had ulterior, like meanings. Or with science fiction fantasy, you can interject other meanings because you drew upon it, like Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire or whatever. He drew most of that off of the War of the Roses, which was a real world thing, but then he could change it all because it's fantasy. So he interjected a whole lot of stuff going on that just built upon the War of the Roses, which is a real historical thing. But that's the difference between fantasy, which is what we're looking at here, and literature. So
Mhm.
when I feel like people find things, like when you come up with the Easter eggs and you throw them out there and we're all like, whoa, that was intentional. So they do put underlying things in intentionally for us. But I don't think it's the same as like analyzing things for the meaning so much as just seeing the little, I guess Easter egg is the only way you could put it. Little nods towards things that could be more. Because I mean, we all know demons in with the Japanese is oni, or along those lines, and these are more vampires, which they have different things. So there's a whole lot of things that make it different than just normal storytelling. You know what I mean? So it's not, I know they say it's very simple story, but in a way it's simple subject matter, but really embellished on the fantasy side.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's not as, because I've seen the same thing where people are like, "Oh, Demon Slayer is such a simple plot. Why do people love it so much?" And I'm like, bless you. I don't know if that was coughing or sneezing, but
It was
I just feel like when you sit back and you look at anything science fiction or any kind of this fiction fantasy writings and stuff, most of the plots are going to be simple when you look at just man versus nature, man versus man versus the future, that's the basic plot for everything literature wise. But this is very, I don't know. I guess I see more depth to it than just the simple part of the plot.
Yeah. Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
to
this will
close
be
it out. Sorry, to close it out. Sorry, I was gonna ask a question.
go ahead. What you got?
So now to close this out, what you already watched the manga or read the manga, so I don't know if you just be careful what you say. But I want to say, what are you guys most looking forward to now in the second movie as we're seeing some of this build up, like that's gonna happen? And no, and to answer your question, Willie, did not know it's 2027, so now I'm mad, and I've been trying to cope with that the past 30 minutes or since you said
You
that.
could see her face was like,
I was like,
Oh, and then the third one comes out in
2027.
2029 because I was at work talking to some of my friends.
oh my god,
Bro, I'm probably gonna have a baby by
am I
then.
gonna be
Like,
alive when that comes
like,
out?
I'm gonna be in the theater, a whole 48-year-old man wearing a fucking
Yeah.
Tanjiro cloak, With the fucking
You can bet your
inflatable-
ass that I am
the-
going to
yeah,
cosplay
no.
Shinobu, and I do not care.
Oh man, hey, she's not in this movie.
I'm gonna have Willie's gonna be pushing my wheelchair up there, and I'm gonna be dressed as Muzan.
I hope somebody tells you when you show up in the Shinobu thing, like, oh, she's not in this movie.
Yeah, and then you just slap him. You just
Wow.
you about to get some centipede.
But
It's gonna stab him with poison.
and I'm embracing it. I'm like, summer of 2029, I'll be 48 and I'll be showing up in the theater and fucking cosplay. Like, fight
Hell
me.
yeah.
You
That'd
know?
be great.
But
Oh,
all I can say is, there's a handful of more Hashira out there, so they're gonna run into. So these fights, like if you thought these fights were good, when the Stone Hashira, oh my god. Get ready. Get ready. And then Genya shows up, my man with the
Yep.
double barrels. Hey, get ready. It's gonna be a good time. But be prepared for tears, is all I will say.
I'm just looking forward to Ino's.
Everybody doesn't make it out. I'm sure
I am too. I want to see what Inosuke does. I mean, to be completely
Everyone
honest,
doesn't get out.
I want to see Muzan step up, and whoever's left, I want to see that battle between them and Muzan, because not all of them are going to make it to that fight. And when that fight happens, who's there and what's going, how that's going to go down? Because I can only imagine.
Yeah.
If all these other guys bow down to Muzan, then you just know Muzan's going to be a fucking beast.
I'm telling you, this is to an anime fan what Infinity War and Endgame was to the Infinity Saga from Marvel. Like it's gonna end so great, you're just gonna need a cigarette when this thing ends.
Yep.
And then just be happy that a fucking perfect, to me, when the chapter is closed, the end chapter for Demon Slayer closes. This is big three. And I know like that's slanderous. How dare you? How dare you? Big what? Like I
I
know
don't
like
know.
I love Bleach. I love all of that stuff, but what Demon Slayer has done for anime,
Mm-hmm.
you got it. You give it its props. Like if you're throwing a Mount Rushmore up there, like you can have the OG big three up there. I would even like, and this is crazy coming from me. I love Bleach. Hey bro,
That's your boyfriend.
hey bro, Ichigo, my boy, come down here and talk to me, man. Come down here, man. Let Tanjiro go up there for a little bit, man. He deserves it.
It's time to retire with the whole Papa.
It may redefine the big three when the last movie comes out. You never know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, people like, oh no, old big three, new big three. Like, no, it's just the importance of this franchise, of what Demon Slayer is doing for anime. You have to give it flowers, and it has to be talked about in the the highest regards from here on out.
Yeah.
No Demon Slayer slander. So.
Not real flowers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Inside joke. You guys don't get it. We do.
That was a good one, though. That was a beautiful moment.
Good job. But yeah, so you guys heard our ratings. I gave it a 4.5, Jackie 4.75, AJ 4.5. Bowls of ramen. So overall, it's a must watch. Go see it.
Definitely.
Go see it.
Just check it out, dude. Even if you've not followed it all, it may inspire you to go back and pick it all up.
Bro, let me tell you, if you want to catch up real quick, download the Shonen Jump app on your phone, whatever, tablet. $2 a month.
$1.99 or $2. Yeah.
$2 a month. You can read through all of these things and catch right on up and go check it out.
Yep.
I swear to God. Just give it a shot. You will not be disappointed. If you went to go see Dog Man.
Yeah, if you dropped $40 to watch Dog Man,
go see this.
We're looking right at you.
Don't take your kids to watch it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our review. Obviously, this will be 2 parts. We'll release the spoiler-free one first, and then we'll release the spoiler-filled one after. But across the board. First movie rating from Eat the Cake Anime. This is a must watch. Go check that shit out.
Must watch, definitely.
Super dope. Parting words. EJ, you got anything? Or what are you looking forward to, I guess, because with this week coming up, I think a lot of the summer anime seasons are wrapping up. I know Dan Dan's wrapping up, Kaiju number 8's wrapping up. I think Toganaki's all of these summer ones are wrapping up pretty much.
Yeah.
Which
I definitely want to see the culmination and direction that they're going to go with Kaiju number 8. With Dan, this season has been great musically and visually and character development wise. So I'm whatever comes, and especially with these last few episodes, it's been hilarious but awesome. And I'm wearing my shirt, but
dope.
I was very upset. I was going to wear my Demon Slayer shirt. This is totally off topic, but I can't find it, and
I need to get one.
that was very upsetting. It was an upsetting moment.
Fine.
I'm
might as
gonna
well
have to
just-
get another one. I'm gonna have to get another shirt. I gotta have to get another Demon Slayer shirt.
Right.
But no, basically Kaiju number 8. I want to see the end of this season and where the direction, and then Dan, of course. I've just got to watch to the end of this because it's just been a so much fun this summer. So,
yeah.
But that's what I'm looking at.
What about you, Jackie? What you most looking forward to season finales of these summer anime?
I don't know if the season finale is coming up, but One Piece has been like going crazy right now. And also Gachia Kuta, man. Oh my gosh. It's so good.
It is.
It's just getting better. Like, I think when we first started watching it, we're like, okay. Bro, the representation too, the artists. I have to look back into the artists and who's like drawing these characters, but they're on point.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. What else we've been? Oh, To Be Hero X just ended.
Next episode, of course, we got to talk these summer animes. Even though,
man.
Well, the finales will be done, and then we should maybe
that's
just
what I'm saying. We could kind of give our thoughts and probably bowl of ramen ratings for these seasons.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
good to
watched
me.
10. I did start watching Lord of Mysteries. Steve and I did, but we took a break because we realized how long the episodes were.
Mhm.
But it's cool. there's a lot of-
I forgot. Yeah, that's been
also
really cool.
also been watching The Silent Witch, which has been a new favorite of mine. It's a nice, easy watch. I don't know. This summer's been really fun.
Lord of Mysteries has been like really it's beautifully done, and then it's just a really different kind of idea. So I've enjoyed that too. Just the approach to magic, the approach to everything has just been pretty cool.
This was
What about you, Willie? What do you got for us?
All of what you guys mentioned, and also Sakamoto Days Part 2 is wrapping up. So over on Netflix and stuff. So watching that one. It's getting better. It's starting to catch up with I guess what people normally or originally anticipated when they heard that this was being adapted to an anime. So looking forward to that. And plus, we got the fall coming up as well. So finna eat good. Like I said, next month, I think October 24th, 26th, one of those. Chainsaw Man, Resi Arc is gonna be dropped in the theater. With these scary, we could October's like so much stuff we could do. October's coming up. We could talk some of that
horror animes,
horror animes, things like that. We got a lot of stuff down the pipe that we could do, but we don't want to run this too long. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. For those who will be checking us out later, thank you. Let us know what you thought about the movie if you've seen it, or if you haven't seen it and you want to comment on the non-spoiler part. Let us know if you're planning on seeing it, or if you're trying to wait for it to come on Crunchyroll, because Ufotable said Crunchyroll is not getting this thing in 2025. So if you want to wait to see if it jumps on Crunchyroll, cool. But I think they're trying to let this marinate in the theaters long enough to get the numbers up, which I'm not mad at. But that's all I got. Amazing movie. I love it. Anime stepping up. Thanks, Ufotable.
Yep. Thank you.
No parting words. Everybody's good.
I'm good. I'm just want to be COVID free.
Appreciate you all, and yeah, drop us a line. Let us know what you think, and we'll answer any questions or address any kind of info.
Right. Or if there's a show that you haven't heard us talk about, and you're just like, I feel the show is not getting the love it needs, let us know. We'll check it out.
Yeah, put
we'll
us
add
on.
it to
Put
our-
us on something.
Yeah, we'll add it to our never ever expanding
The list.
Yeah.
The watch list.
But we do appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Episode 20 in the books. We'll catch you guys next time. In the meantime, watch some anime and peace.